Hi everyone, welcome back to another stitch tutorial, and today we're going to learn how to crochet this feather stitch. I'm using it to make this cowl scarf, and I'll leave a link in the description box below when I'm done with it on how you can also make your cowl scarf. But today we're going to need yarn. I'm using this yarn. It's a worsted, it's a light worsted. I'm going to use it with a 4.5mm crochet hook. You'll also need a pair of scissors and a darning needle if you're going to weave in your ends at the end of your work. To begin, you're going to make a slip knot. Then you're going to chain any odd number of chains. So I'll start with 27 chains. So yarn over, pull through that loop to make a chain. Yarn over, pull through the next loop to make a chain. So you have 2 chains at this point. Continue until you have any odd number of chains. Then I'll meet you in row 1. So I'm going to chain 27, then meet in row 1. So at the end of our foundation chains, you're going to skip the first 2. So the loop on your hook does not count as a stitch. So skip the next chain and the second chain. Then on this third chain, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in that chain, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. So that's your first half double crochet stitch. Then chain 1, skip the next chain, and on the next chain you're going to work another half double crochet. So yarn over, go in that next chain, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops. Then chain 1, skip the next chain, and on the next chain work another half double crochet. So that's what you're going to repeat all the way to the end of row 1. Just chain 1, skip the next chain, and half double crochet in the next chain. Chain 1, skip the next chain, half double crochet in the next chain. So do that, and then I'll meet you when you're through with row 1 and turning to row 2. So reach the end of row 1, you should end with a half double crochet in the very last chain stitch. Then chain 1, turn your work, and the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So you're going to yarn over, and in the very first half double crochet stitch, you're going to go through these 2 loops at the top here. Insert your hook through both loops, then yarn over, pull through, and work your first half double crochet in that stitch. Then chain 1. Now you're going to work our first feather stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook in that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in this skipped chain here down in row 1. You're going to go in that chain that we skipped, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. Then you'll have 5 loops on your hook. Then yarn over again, go in the next chain 1 space in our first row, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. Now at this point you're going to have 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all those 7 loops. Then to close that stitch you're going to chain 1. So that's our first feather stitch. And that's what you're going to repeat all the way. So to work the second feather stitch you're going to yarn over, and in that chain space that you've just worked on, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the chain space down here below the chain stitch, not the chain space, the chain stitch that we skipped. Insert your hook in that chain, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in this next chain space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You should have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops, then chain 1. Now that's our second feather stitch. And that's what you're going to repeat. Yarn over, insert your hook in the chain space you've just worked on, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the chain stitch that you skipped down below, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the next chain space. yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops and chain 1. So repeat that all the way until you reach your last chain space. Then I'll meet you when you're finishing our row 2. So I went ahead and finished my row 2. I've worked my last feather stitch in this last chain space, and since we don't have any more chain space, we're not going to work in this chain stitch down below. After working your last feather stitch, you're going to chain 1. I already chained 1, then go in the last half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook in that stitch, and finish your row with a half double crochet. Then chain 1 and turn to row 3. So row 3 is going to be our repeat row because this stitch is only one row repeat. So yarn over, work your first half double crochet in the first stitch, then chain 1. Do not forget to chain 1 after working this first stitch. Then you're going to work our first feather stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook in that first chain space, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, and you want to go in this chain space down below, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the next chain space here, yarn over, pull through. When you have 7 loops, you're going to yarn over, pull through all those 7 loops, then chain 1. For the next stitch, you're going to yarn over, go in that chain space that you've just finished your last feather stitch, then insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go in the chain space 2 rows below where you worked your previous row feather stitch. So in that chain space, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the next chain space, yarn over, pull through. When you have 7 loops, you're going to yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops, then chain 1. And you're going to repeat that all the way to the end of the row. So I'll just show you just one more time how to do it. Yarn over, go in that chain space you've just worked on, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over, go in the chain space 2 rows below where you worked your previous feather stitches, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. Then yarn over, go in the next chain space, yarn over, pull through. When you have 7 loops, you're going to yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops, then chain 1. You're going to repeat that all the way until you finish your last, work your last feather stitch in this chain 1 space. Then I'll meet you when you're finishing it off. So your last stitch should be on this second chain space, the chain space down below, and the last chain space. So I went ahead and finished my row 2. I've worked my last feather stitch in the second last chain space, the chain space down below, and the very last chain space, and then chained 1. So I'm going to finish with a double crochet, half double crochet in the last half double crochet stitch, then chain 1 and turn. So row 4, we're going to repeat our row 3 pattern, yarn over, work half double crochet in that very first stitch, then chain 1, and repeat the previous row. So you're going to yarn over, go in the first chain space, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the chain space down below, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, go in the next chain space, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through all those 7 loops, then chain 1. Yarn over, go in the chain space you've just worked on, yarn over, go in the chain space down below, yarn over, go in the next chain space, pull through all the 7 loops, then chain 1. Always remember to chain 1. So do that all the way to the end of your row, then finish off with a half double crochet and repeat that until you finish your pattern. So this is how it looks like after going through some few rows. I really love the texture of this fabric. It's dense and it's thick, so if you're going to make a beanie, you want to make a scarf, blanket, or you want a thicker fabric on your pieces, please, you can do this stitch. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you use this stitch to make any project, please tag me on any social media platform. You'll find me as Dream Crochets. So that's all for today's tutorial. Thank you so much, and until next time, please stay safe and God bless you. Bye.